Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War 2 Elite modcasts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 versus 1 on Caldaris Desert. Playing as the Force Commander, we have got Rutank, and playing as the Warlock, we have got DrBenGunn. DrBenGunn's going to be opening up with an extra Guardian, whereas the Rutank up north is going to go for an extra Tactical Marine squad, so we'll see how that goes. I imagine the Tactical Marines are a lot more durable than their Scout counterparts, with their lovely teal blue, aqua blue, is giving me, oh, what's that film with the Smurf people in it that James Cameron directed? The water film with all the special effects. Anyway, I've got a Warlock going up straight against this, going towards that Force Commander, but I imagine they're straight at 1v1, while yes, the Warlock is probably going to be able to bash him a little bit quicker. The Force Commander probably can tank a little bit more damage. Warlock known for its zappy abilities from a distance, got some Guardians over here. A little bit outflanked by these Scouts and the Space Marines. Space Marines tanking it nicely behind cover. Got some Guardians over on this side, going to take down one singular Scout model, but a couple of Guardians have been taken out there. Warlock jumping straight in, taking no nonsense from these filthy Mon Kai. Will go in for a zap, but didn't quite seem to hit there. Now going to charge forward, got a second squad of Scouts over on the distance, having a little sniff of that requisition point, but deciding to not finish off. Going to fire away at this Warlock who's hiding behind this cover here. Space Marines going into this, what can only be described as a bear's head. We've got a mouth there and two eyes, as these guys are kind of casually firing outside the window. Do quite like these little dudes inside. It's quite, dare I say, almost adorable. Kind of want to give them a little hug while they're inside. Anyway, we've got 2 red points and 1 blue point, so the Eldar are almost 100 points ahead of the Space Marines. They will need to get out and start capturing some bits and bobs. You have the Force Commander capturing this one, so it will slow down the blue ticket going down. Whatever verb you would use for that to go down. Still working on the vernacular for these kinds of casts. We are fairly new to this second ever cast of Dawn of War 2 on this channel. Howling Banshees are going to come in. They don't seem to really do all that much damage on that charge in there. Warlock quite low on health at the moment, but there we go, they're going to get a bit of a surround on him. Force Commander doing a bit of a big swipe. Knocking these girls back, but they're not giving up. Quite persistent are these ladies. Space Marines are going to provide some firing support as this guy is knocked around. Might want to run him away. Then again, running him away might be a little bit dangerous. There we go, they are going to retreat him. And the Howling Banshees will also fall back as well. Space Marines are going to come in, see if they can give him some love taps. Will manage to get one extra Howling Banshee down before this lady does manage to escape all the way. Over on this side we do have some Scouts now armed with a shotgun, allowing them to gain the explosive shot ability. Make some big booms in a generally small area. Do believe it also suppresses units as well. So these guys will be ideal against the Howling Banshees. Warlock is also going to fall back as well. So, looking at the economies, we do have 284 and 29 compared to 319 and 49. But I think the economy in this game, I'm fairly certain, and please feel free to correct me if you actually know how this game works, that the more units you have on the map, the less of an economy that you have. Also, the longer that you hold these requisition points, as just saw they went from 10 to 15. So the longer you hold them, the bigger the money is for you. Capping at a maximum of plus 30. If I'm not mistaken. But we do have triple plasma gens compared to 1 plasma gen for the Space Marines over yonder. Also gone for Assault Squad. We should be quite useful against these Guardians. 1 Scout Squad almost been taken down, but will retreat in finest order. And this side over here will be once again taken over by the Eldar, or at least that VP will. Commander now once again back out, full head of hair. And the Guardian squad equipped with a battle equipment. Giving them plasma grenades, which they're just using just then. Nice little use to show up their retreat there. They're going to retreat all the way themselves. May as well have just retreated at that point. I don't know how quick the cooldown on those grenades are, but those grenades are quite lethal against infantry. Also gives them a deployable energy shield, which at the moment, with all this cover in the middle, won't be all that useful, but as the game progresses, they'll certainly be able to take advantage of that once all these bits of cover are being destroyed by tanks and explosive doodads. Also gives them 33% extra health, which is quite useful. Makes him a little bit more tankier. Tactical Marines, they are certainly at the ready. Shotgun's been fired at this Warlock here. Be very careful with this dude, quite fragile. But full of utility and damage, should he choose. Got some Guardians going around on this side and some Howling Banshees. Now upgraded with what are you? Got Aspect of Fleetness, increased health by 50%, as well as giving them washout and fleet of foot abilities. Going to stun these Tactical Marines, but Assault Marines are going to jump in. While Scouts trying to move around on this side, going to suppress these Guardians. Over on this side, Warlock going to be firing with his shooty, zappy bits. And it does seem like the Space Marines are taking quite the hold in the centre. Oh, and I don't know if you saw in the distance, but the Howling Banshees are able to jump over little bits of cover, which is quite nice. But a cool little thing. Warlock almost being slapped around, and this Guardian as well, but the Assault Squad not quite getting in there. Grenades being used to a defensive posture once again. Warp Gate going to be built up, so I imagine we'll see a second one somewhere on the battlefield. And now the Space Marines are going to use this opportunity to bash some power. Howling Banshee is going to move in, leading the charge. Warlock being upgraded with a challenging runes, allowing him to restore allied health by 20 per second for about 10 seconds or something. Either way, allowing these guys to get straight back into it. I know a fully fledged retreat from the Space Marines. Going to take out the Force Commander. Nice little pick up there. And the Space Marines do manage to decap that 30 requisition point there, so not all was lost, although that losing that Force Commander there is quite the negative thing, especially since it's so far over here. So restoring him without costing you a bit of skrill or a bit of dollar, that's going to be quite the unfortunate situation. Both teams are going to go for tier 2 at the moment. Central point going to be capped by the Eldar. Eldar with the current VP advantage at the moment. And just capturing all these things over here. Scouts over here. Gonna fall back. Oh, a bit of grenade going on. Will actually get... Oh, that was almost a full squad wipe with that one singular grenade. Also avoiding their own grenade there as well. So Guardians are going to have to fall back. And that was the Guardians with the battle equipment as well. Would have been fantastic if they got that up. But I imagine if they didn't have that upgrade with their 33% extra health, would have probably gone all the way out. So be very careful with your Guardians. Not known for their ability to stay alive in the grand scheme of things. Force Commander going to waddle his way over. He has been rebuilt. Capturing that central VP here. Also going to have a sniff at this power node. I imagine these power nodes are probably not going to be built up unless there's a severe military balance. Oh no, he says that, and then, well, if anything, this at least stops them from decapping it. Minor nuisance. Guardians over here, really not doing all that well against these Tactical Marines. Tactical Marines now got a Sergeant in there. And a full squad wipe there. Very unfortunate. But it was not the upgraded one, so that is something. Eldar going to go for a Wraith Lord. The Tactical Marines have not gone for any specific kind of weaponry, so they have got the option to go for missile launchers should they want. Force Commander, do we know the levels? Ah, there we go, level 2 for the Force Commander. Level 2 for the Tactical Marines and the Scout Squad as well. For life of me, again, I also can't remember what the leveling system does for the stats. If you could tell me in the comments, that'd be marvellous. Should have really done my research, but nah. Oh, my thing's crashed. Hold on. There we go, fixed it. Not sure why it minimised, but we'll take it. As long as it's not stopped the game halfway through. Maybe it's me pressing the Alt button too much. Somebody's going to jump straight in, knocking these ladies all around. Well, they have been suppressed by the Howling Banshee's screaming ability. Warlock going to jump in as well. He's got a nice little jumping ability himself. And they're doing alright. Although not sure if they're able to tank all the damage, especially when the Scout Squad is coming in, but the Warlock will channel some healing into these ladies, and look how quickly they're able to regain their health. Wonderful synergy between these two units here. Some Marines might even go down. Oh no, they won't, they will survive. Force Commander gonna beat these guys on the backside. Using his chain sword to full effect here, but he's not going to be doing all that well. Going to take additional damage as he's retreating in close combat and will be taken down a second time. Very unfortunate. Wraith Lord now out. There's some serious mischief from the Eldar coming on now. Space Marines need a response. They have got a fair amount of requisition and blue money to play with. God, that's going to be confusing going from the usual vernacular that I use for the Dawn of War 1s. Orange money, blue money, red money. There we go. I've self-righted myself here. But yeah, what are these guys going to do against the Wraith Lord? They could... Ah, there we go. Tactical Marines going to go for their missile launcher. Submarine's going to jump straight in. Grenade of the melter variety. But yeah, they have gone for Thunder and Lightning. Melter bombs do all that. Reduce the vehicle speed by 60%, sorry. So yeah, this Wraith Lord feeling a little bit vulnerable. Needs to get those Howling Banshees in and around these Tactical Marines to prevent them from doing anything extra. Well, Submarine's not feeling all that fresh and fancy. Using that scream there, but while those guys were retreating, they are going to ignore it. Didn't seem to quite get that Force Commander involved in that scream neither. But everyone falls back. Warlock just causing a nuisance to these Tactical Marines before he withdraws himself. Managing to avoid too much in the way of argy-bargy in close combat. Second Wraith Lord coming out. It's quite interesting. I imagine that double Wraith Lord is probably not a normal strategy. From what I remember, you don't normally get double walkers, unless of course they're different kinds of walkers. But this guy is going to go for a Shuriken Cannon upgrade, which is suppressing these scouts. Going to send them back all the way up north. Guardians able to repair their Wraith Lords as and when they please. Webway Gate being popped over here. Able to strike down that Force Commander before fading back into the Webway Gate. Wonderful little tactic there. Able to keep their 30 requisition point here. Tactical Marines going to edge their way over, a little bit sheepish. What's your plan, Tactical Marines? You can't see it. You've got no... Can't see the invisible stuff. I imagine it's a Librarian that can see it. Possibly. But over here, there we go. They knew what they were doing. Almost like when you see a hole and you think to yourself, can I stick this in there? Not a good idea, but I'm going to give it a go. It's exactly what Space Marines were thinking. Going to go for Power Fist. Grants the Flesh Over Steel ability that disables a targeted vehicle for 5 seconds. So yeah, nice option against the Wraith Lord. I imagine also that Power Fist allows him to do a good old punch on the Wraith Lord. Guys over here, Scouts able to see... Oh, they can see things because they've got the eye on them, right? Fair enough. That makes total sense. Got some decapping of the requisitions going on over here. What's the economies looking like? Big orange money and blue money flirt for the Eldar here. So they've got the option to go for extra things. And I quite like this Space Marine composition. No one singular unit is massively anti-vehicle. They've all got to kind of work in tandem together. Which means that if you kill one unit, it won't necessarily lock off the Space Marines' anti-vehicle capabilities, but does mean that they are easily disrupted. If you take out one piece of their puzzle, or one Jenga from their Jenga tower, the whole thing will come crashing down. Wraith Lord's now moving forward on one side, Warlock and Banshees on the other. Looking to see if they can tie up this Force Commander. Force Commander, go and see if he can jump straight in. Raising a fist, disabling this Wraith Lord. Just going to stand there minding his own business, but everything does fall back. Space Marine's not really standing up all that well. They've still got full models, so no, won't need to spend any money in rebuilding them. Which is quite nice. Eldar now at a disadvantage, 200 VPs compared to 259. It's got to be very careful. They've got the military dominance. Also going to go for their tier 3 a little bit earlier. There we go. Maybe going for some power bashing. That might be the way forward. Need to also start decapping these VPs if we want to start getting back on top with those victory point stuffs. Might potentially get one. There we go. One down. Also got a bright lance on this bad boy. just in case Space Marines go for any kind of vehicles themselves. Wraithlord taking a bit of a beating from the melter gun. Tactical Marines continually firing with their missile launchers. They're now level 3, so I imagine they do a little bit more damage. Wraithlord over here might be punched into submission, unable to retreat from combat. Guardian's trying to repair it, and the Force Commander also has got Artificer Armor, allowing him to have additional health regen as well as maximum health and maximum energy. Has also gone for an Iron Halo, allows him to absorb damage at the cost of energy. The Eldar holding on still. Also going to go for some Wraith Burn on this Wraithlord. Will allow it to regen its health. The Space Marines are now going to go back for another swipe at these guys. Going to try and prevent them from destroying all their power. These Howling Banshees, man, real lethal ladies. And to be honest, with these Tactical Marines going for their missile launchers, don't really have an option against these guys. Need to get a decent... I mean, where's our Scout Squad? The Scout Squad is over here. They've got the shotguns, which would be an amazing counter against these Howling Banshees, but they're not really nearby. Transit Turret over here going to be firing at the Banshees. Will force them to retreat.
Understood.
Force Commander over here, nice and close to the base, so he will be able to be picked up by his boys. But yeah, complete and total bashing of all this power here, even a decap as well. Space Marines a really difficult situation. Scouts using the explosive shots over here, but not quite exactly where you want it to be on some retreating Banshees. Got a Witchblade of Kurnos. What do you do? Grants an ethereal slash ability, dealing 25 melee damage and knockback along 4 lines with an area of radius 6 around the Warlock, so AoE slashing damage. Wraithlord going to be chasing around these scouts who are just decapping anything that they can, but they will retreat. Bit of indecisiveness with these scouts, gonna have to say it. Eldar in a firm economic position here. Space Marines not much on the field at the moment, but then again, not much for either players on the field at the moment. Eldar over here, capping this blue requisition point that was belonging to Space Marines, but it was outside their base. It's gone up to 30. Must have not noticed it. Force Commander over here capturing this power nerd. Now I imagine, yeah, the Space Marines just need to get something comparable to the Wraithlord on the field. Those Howling Banshees are their main problem. So something that will certainly sort them out. At the moment, are you the Bright Lance variant? Have you got the Bright Lance? No, you've got the Shuriken Cannon, so I imagine something vehicular would be decent for the Space Marines. Moving around over on this side, going to be capturing their relics. And to be fair, even the Space Marines seem to be at a disadvantage on the VP front. They're actually doing remarkably well. Eldar need to be a little bit more aggressive with their plays. Scouts over here once again decapping, or at least attempting to decap that requisition point. Warlock needs to go forward, start doing some capping of his own. Victory point in the middle will soon be belonging to the Eldar. The Guardian Squad manoeuvring around with this webway gate. We also have a Seer Council on the field as well. Lethal in close combat. Scouts over here being pestered by the Wraithlord. Gonna stick around and capture that relic point before I imagine retreating. There we go. Will retreat. Got a energy shield over yonder. And this, I imagine, does a lot more defense at range than anything else, like rubble and stuff. Space Marines managing to deny that victory point just by sheer presence. Oh, there we go. We've got a Predator. Big blue head coming along. This will certainly ruin the Eldar's day. Gonna spot that Wraithlord, firing at it. Maybe want to avoid getting too close in close combat with it. But the Space Marine captain with his... Oh, don't show me your backside, young man. Well, then again, the Eldar don't really have anything in the way of close combat, or anti-vehicle, sorry. So it should be alright. Farseers, or Seer Council, being channeled back to full health by the Warlock, but the Seer Council weren't really all that much damage, but I imagine they were being preemptively healed for damage that was to come. Big Eldritch slice by the Warlock there, knocking these guys over, but the Force Commander coming in, causing them some problems. Tactical Marines now swapping their loads out for a plasma gun. which will certainly help them against heavy infantry. Over here, grenade being thrown down on these scouts. Managed to get one model in there. The Guardians behind cover. Also got a Warlock in there as well. Gonna throw in a grenade before running away. Managed to almost get a full squad wipe on these guys when taking to health into consideration. Lots of melee shenanigans going on over here, but the Howling Banshees unsupported in this cruel world. In fact, they might even be able to get them down. They are able to do that. There'll be a huge... There we go. Wonderful situation for the Space Marines now. Those Howling Banshees causing them no sense of... Whatever, I don't know. Not even sure what I was going to say then. No sense of loss for them. They're quite happy that they're gone. Vanguard Space Marines now out of the assault variety. I imagine they're just a little bit better than their regular assault counterparts. We do have a Fire Prism now out. And if I remember correctly, able to be good against vehicles and... Oh dear, come on, can you get out? Can you retreat? Yep, manages to get out of there alive. Force Commander just been an absolute hero. Punching that Wraithlaw to death. Wonderful little bit of bravery going on there. But yeah, I do believe that the Fire Prism is able to be good against vehicles and infantry, should it swap between its two prismatic cores. See a council just going around capturing anything that they can. 143 and 122 in the VP department. Economy-wise, 440 and 76 compared to 505 and 99. It's got 500 red money and 311 green money. Oh, red money, sorry. God, my words not working today, are they? But Fire Prism going to cause these Space Marines some issues. Space Marines been trading out their missile launcher for a plasma gun, so not going to be all that effective against vehicles at this present moment in time. I imagine the Predator might want to go for some las guns. Not sure though, as it is a wonderful counter to these Seer Councils. What's going on here? Oh, it's a woman bleeding. Fair enough. Bleeding in the sands like a stuck pig. We go for those decaps. Red's now on triple red, so they need to definitely make sure they decap it ASAP. Force Commander using his Iron Halo to full effect. Seer Council hiding behind the shield laid down by the Guardians earlier on. Does manage to at least decap it. Predator managing to destroy that shield there. The Warlock just nonchalantly chilling out in the middle.
Ready to serve.
Vanguard veterans now armed with a Thunder Hammer in there. And now Space Marines presenting themselves. They've got to be really careful with this engagement here. Don't really have a solid response to this Fire Prism, but if they're able to destroy all the things around it, when the Force Commander comes back round, should be alright. They're just going to jump straight on into these Guardians, going to destroy that shield generator. Predator going to move straight forward. No mischief whatsoever. Got some Terminators, there we go, coming in. Shield ablaze with crackling electric light. Vanguard veterans looking a little bit worse for wear. Retreating as one of them, those guys are falling over. Managing to... Oh no, they've been taken down sadly. That's alright, the Terminators can certainly weather this storm. Now we're going to teleport round the back side of this Fire Prism. Might be able to get a couple of strikes on it. Ooh, they do a hell of a lot of damage against vehicles. Gotta be very careful with your positioning for that Fire Prism there. Nice one. So things are stabilising for blue at the moment. Gotta be very careful there. Oh, what are you doing, Mr. Predator, man? Moving forward. Oh, you're going to look to see if you can get some extra strikes against this Fire Prism. But quite brave. Scout's going to move in trying to repair it as it's going about its business. Las cannons on this bad boy as well. Over here we've got the Guardians trying to cap that VP. Will be successful. And the Space Marines really can't afford to lose any amount at the moment. One major push from the Eldar can move the Space Marines off this central point here long enough for them to win the game. Avatar of Khaine on the way. This is quite a dire situation. Are they able to resist the might of the Avatar? We'll have to see how it goes. One scout being stabbed into the ground. Terminator's doing a fair decent bit of damage, as well as this Predator. Predator might want to turn attention to this fire prism there. Easier target to go for. They've got triple blue, so don't necessarily need to kill the Avatar of Khaine. They just need to hold these positions for a little bit longer. Senior Council sending some Space Marines back. Predator goes down. And the Terminator Assault Squad looking to get involved. Gonna see some Eldar. Oh, that was a big explosion from the Avatar there, knocking these Terminators back as the Senior Council go to work. Teleporting back home though, however. And will they actually be able to take him out? As he waddles away. Senior Council fast and mobile though. Striking him down. Throwing... Oh, I quite like that kill animation. Throwing a spear at him before summoning it back. But yeah, the Eldar managing to be able to decap 2 victory points before being able to cap 2 of their own. All comes right down to the wire here. Force Commander sees the Seer Council. Gonna have to try and deny them capping this VP as soon as possible. Do have a Autarch on the field, which will at the very least prevent the Space Marines from coming over here and supporting their Force Commander. Don't need to cap this, they just need to decap it so the points start going down for them. Fire Prism firing away. Space Marines moving back into the centre. Over here, Force Commander looks like he might be able to win against the Seer Council, forcing them to retreat back. And Warlock jumping straight in, bringing that Eldritch Blade to full effect. Scout throwing a grenade. Oh, maybe almost got him in the retreat path. Avatar of Khaine being fully repaired. Repaired, regened, whatever you would call that. And it does seem that this is indeed a victory for the Eldar. So right down to the wire there. Only 2 or 22 red VPs left. But wonderful, wonderful game. You saw nice laying of fire from the Space Marines, using the Space Marine, the Assault Marines, and the Force Commander to take on those Wraith Lords earlier on. But I think those Howling Banshees really did set the stage. Just wonderful plays by the Eldar player and Space Marine player, all in all. Anyway, if you like the video, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month does get you 1 extra game of Dawn of War 1 at the moment. Might do some Dawn of War 2 content on there if that is what people want. And what else is there? There's a Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as usual. Mine's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never choke. I'll see you in a bit. Peace.